This is StayLit Love here, and I'm here to bring you a lituation as above, so below for the astrology forecast this month, February 2019. So, February, we start off with a new moon on the 4th in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is a very innovative, future oriented sign that is really about progressiveness and pretty much being your authentic self. It's an air sign. It has to do with the mentality of things, the higher mind, and kind of a genius energy. So, activating the new moon energy for this month, we're looking at a lot of things moving forward, the future. And how better is that considering that, this is the beginning of the year. People are still setting in their New Year's resolutions. I like to call them more of intentions. Especially for the new moon, it's perfect to really set your intention. So this would be a really great time to have a ritual where you're setting your intentions about what is it that you are projecting in the future. We also have some planet aligning as well, which is Jupiter, which is a really benefactor planet. It's one of my favorite planets. It's the largest planet in the solar system. And Jupiter is a fire sign. Its rule is fire energy. It's ruled by Sagittarius. Well, it rules over Sagittarius. And so when you have an air and a fire sign, they're very complementary. So this is a sextile. The meeting of these two planets, considering that I believe this new moon is at 15 degrees Aquarius, and right now Jupiter is at 18 degrees. So we have a 3-degree orb. So this connection is really harmonious, and it's pretty much giving all of us the opportunity to have faith in the future. Like, we're feeling like this optimistic, faithful, having faith in your future. Past January, it's been a lot of Capricornian energy, and we still have a little bit of Capricorn energy here this month lingering. But with this new moon, it's just bringing like this lightness to the energy, to our emotions, to our instinctual awareness, which is how we feel. So with that said, we're looking to, it's really good to project your emotions where it's optimism, where you're feeling faithful, where you're feeling joyful, jovial about your future. So be sure to do your rituals this month. I would say a great technique is to do some visualization about your future that you're projecting. Meditation is always good. Writing down, like write a note to your future self. That would be really good. And make sure you include your emotions and how do you feel. And go big. Go all the way big, because we have Jupiter really giving you all the goodies for what you want to set forth and intend for the future. So what we have next is that February 4th, we also have Venus entering Capricorn. So Venus entering Capricorn is really an interesting energy. And so with this energy, we have, it's like a really classic defining of what we value. We're valuing more traditional things. We're valuing commitments. Venus rules our relationship. Venus also rules women. Venus also rules money as well. So right now, with Venus going to Capricorn, and this pretty much lasts for about a month, I would say for this throughout the whole month, you want to really value things that will last. Valuing things that will last will bring you everything that you find to be a committed effort. This is giving you lasting value when you think of Venus in Capricorn. I would say Venus also rules fashion, so really classic looks is really important. Like the classic look that will transcend any trends is really good in beauty, like hence the red lip. The red lip is always in fashion, is always something that's trendy from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, 50s, and so forth. Another thing, I would say being a little conservative with your money will be really good. Consider going maybe thrifting, where you're getting old items, or antique shopping if you want to buy yourself something, because Venusian energy is all about, feeling good and buying great things, and possessing and having the best of the best. So when you're shopping and you're going out, say you're buying stuff for your home, it'd probably be a good idea you to go to like a antique shop. You'll probably find something really quite valuable. Again, saving money is really a good thing. You probably will be rewarded very well. Going to the banks and figuring out how you can save money. We in the United States, we're all getting our taxes, or we're preparing to do our taxes. So if you get your check, and you should before this transit ends, it probably would be a greater idea to conserve things. And in regards to relationships, relationship energy is really something that you would want to be like. You'll probably find a lot of people committing to things that they value, relationships that they value. Taking it to the next level. Capricorn is very ambitious energy, and Venusian energy is all about love. So you probably want to take love to the next level. Anything that's dear to your heart that you value, you want to take to the next level. And in order to take it to the next level, you would have to pretty much conserve it, commit to it, and also go for it for the long run. So that's Venus and Capricorn. Next, on the 10th, we have Mercury entering Pisces. That's a beautiful energy. Mercury, we know, a lot of people know about Mercury. I would say a lot of people learn about astrology, or that's their gateway to astrology, through the Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde, it rules our mindsets, the way we think, the way we communicate, technology around us, driving. It even rules our cousins as well, our community, our close-knit community and neighborhood as well. So Mercury now going into Pisces. Pisces is a very feminine energy. It's an energy that's very nebulous, very spiritual, very abstract. So when we talk about Mercury going into Pisces, the energy is really quite, our mind is really non-linear. We're not really thinking pretty objectively or logically. Our minds, we tend to have more creative thoughts. We tend to probably get downloads from, I don't know how I figured that out, but it's like something that could be maybe from a dream. Pisces also rules the dream world as well. So you might also find that, when you wake up in the morning, you just have this wild creative idea about doing things. So I would suggest throughout this transit, it'd be a good idea to kind of have like a pen and pad, a notebook right next to your bed on your nightstand. So when you wake up, you probably would have some pretty profound dreams that will give you some great ideas as well. Another thing, like artistry must be really big. If you're an artist, this is a great time to create. You might come up with great ideas. If you're like a songwriter or a painter, because Mercury also rules our hands, you might be drawing up and writing up some really beautiful bodies of work, of artistic work, because Pisces does rule the creator, the artiste of the zodiac. So our mind is going into that place. So we're coming up with very creative ways of communicating our ideas and so forth. And our mindset is more or less, less logical, but more dreamy, more romantic. Another thing, also, romance might be a big thing. You might be professing your love, and this is perfect because this is near Valentine's Day. So Mercury in Pisces might have a lot of people really speaking from their heart, because like I said, Pisces is a very feminine energy. It is the higher altitude of Venus energy, so it's unconditional love. So people might be professing their unconditional love to each other for the Valentine's holiday, or just throughout the whole month. And I find it so beautiful. It's a very creative energy. And also I would use this energy to meditate as well, because Pisces also rules our spiritual nature, and meditation also has to do with the mind. And so because the mind won't be so busy with so many things, it would be kind of on a flowy energy, meditating and pretty much releasing all that logical, all that, frantic energy, and stuff that it was when it was in Aquarius. When Mercury is in Aquarius, you probably had so many ideas, just like so many genius things, and probably felt restless. Now the mind gets to relax, and so you take this time to pretty much have a meditative session, really release all your thoughts, drop your energy down to your heart, and listen. And it might be, you'll be surprised at what you'll hear. So the next day, the next transit we have is when Mars enters Taurus on the 18th of February. So Mars entering Taurus, this is kind of giving us another slowdown, a calm, because when Mars was in Aries, it was at home, and it was just like that push energy, and we probably really needed that. So, at the start of the year, with the intent of getting everything done, starting the year off right, having the courage and the energy. Now, when Mars is going into Taurus, it's like, okay, I did a lot. What's the worth? Like, is this worth my time? Is this worth, not even my time, but is this worth my energy? Mars in Taurus is really asking, is this worth my energy? Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus, so it really likes to calm itself and just eat and just enjoy the finer things in life. And so Mars, it's a very forceful, passionate kind of planet. And in Taurus, it's just the warrior in us really wants to know, is this worth all this energy? So right now we are assessing what is worth our energetic, our force, our drive to go after the things that we desire and what we find passionate, and what is it that we want to go after, and so forth. So this is the energy now. We're getting a little slowed down, and we're grounding ourselves with what is it that we're going after, and not just going, doing things and thinking later, as impulsive as Mars and Aries can be. So Mars and Taurus is really, grounding our energetic vibrations when it comes to what is it that we want to go after, our energy, our passions. It's really more sensual. We're more feeling our bodies. This will be a good time for a good massage, I would say, but it will also be a good time to kind of assess your finances, because Taurus does rule money. Like I told you, it's ruled by Venus. So maybe you want to take the time, again, another theme about finances. When in the States, we get our taxes, you probably want to assess and probably, put your energy towards that, and just check out what is it that you want to allocate money for certain things. What is worth your time? Taurus energy is about, self-worth. So, you have to preserve your energy, and that's all about self-care when it comes to, the energy that you put out there. So you need to really take accountability and be reliable, and easy does it. This is slow and steady energy. This is the slow and steady wins the race. So take your time towards what is it that you're going after, what is it that you're passionate about, and so forth. And always ask yourself, is this worth my energy? So next we also have on the 18th, Chiron entering Aries. Now, most astrologers don't really talk about Chiron. Chiron is a really interesting planetoid, asteroid. We're still trying to figure out what it is, but pretty much it's in between Saturn and Uranus. And so it has a really heavy energy, which is the wound, and the freeing aspect is when we heal, which is close to Uranus. Now, this transit takes about 8 years, and Chiron has been in Aries before, last year in 2018, but went retrograde back into Pisces, and now it's going back into Aries, where it's going to stay for the next 8 years. Chiron in Aries. Well, let's talk about Chiron in Pisces. Chiron in Pisces, if you have noticed, I've seen that Chiron in Pisces was really healing the feminine energy. Because Pisces, again, like I mentioned before, is a very feminine sign. It's really one that, we would see throughout this transit that self-care and self-love is something that was just a constant thing. And that's because from the last 4 years of the transit, that's when we were healing ourselves, the feminine energy. And that goes for men and women, because we all have feminine and masculine energies. And that has to deal with our emotions, our self-worth, what we value, right? So those things is like something that we had to really look into our emotional well-being, right? And see, how are you valuing yourself? How is it through self-care? Are you empowering yourself? I mean, there has been so many initiatives to help women, to push women to be more empowered, to feel good, because women in this society is usually, putting all the energy outwards to everyone, caring for their families, and and what we do in our work and stuff, and we have our children, and sometimes we're the last people that we take care of. And so then we have to kind of empower ourselves, and that's that feminine energy, regarding all people, all of us, because we are so outside driven, like, work driven, and don't really take care of the emotional well-being. So I would say from this whole transit, it really has healed the emotional wellness of the collective, of where we are. At least I would say we have really gained consciousness of the fact that, wait a minute, I have to take care of like the internal world as well. So now on the 18th, with Chiron going into Aries, there's more of a masculine kind of wound that we will be seeing. So with Chiron's transit, it's called the wounded healer. It's pretty much the mythology that comes with it is that there was a medicine man who shot himself, who had a bow and arrow. He was actually a centaur, kind of like the symbol for Sagittarius, half man, half horse, or half beast. And so he was more of a medicine man, an herbalist, and so forth. And his medicine, he shot himself in the foot. So it's like it's like he has the medicine to heal, but also it poisoned him, and he was unable to like really fix himself. And so that's the energy of Chiron. It's like a part of our chart. If you would do a natal chart reading of your own personal chart, you would see where Chiron is, and that's where you kind of have your personal wound, and it's with your intention is how you can heal yourself. And sometimes that would have to be something where it has to be a community effort, or definitely one that can help you liberate yourself in a way. So now back to Chiron being in Aries. Aries is a very masculine energy. It's very, go after, it's the first of the sign. It's very powerful. It's not powerful, but more or less takes initiative, takes drive. It rules the body, it rules the head, right? And last time Chiron was in Aries, I find it really interesting, was during the Vietnam War. And this is the first time we saw like the wounded soldier. This was the first time we saw like the real repercussions of war. We saw our men coming back, and they were wounded. And Mars and Aries energy is usually known as the warrior, as the soldier. So we were seeing the wounds of that. But at this right now with this transit, I think we're seeing how the masculine energy needs to heal. And I think with last year, with the Me Too movement, we've noticed how men of power have taken advantage of, their status with, all the allegations and the rape and everything that was going on throughout the whole Me Too movement. And we're all looking like, wait a minute, this isn't right, and this is something that's been going on right now. So I think that's the beginning of seeing the wounding of the masculine energy. We also have another buzzword that's going on, which is toxic masculinity. I attest that to Chiron and Aries, and that probably was happening when Chiron is in Aries last year. So there's going to be more themes that's going to really focus on the masculine energy of maybe driving, doing things too much, being so impulsive, just like that masculine energy. It's gonna be some wounding, and it's gonna be a gaping wound that's gonna occur for the next 4 years. And I would have to say within 4 years after that, that's when we're gonna start healing that energy. So how will you start healing your masculine energy? We'll look to your chart where Chiron is, and when I go through each sign, I will tell you where this wound will be occurring, and so you can get a head start and have a real awareness of how you can begin your healing process. So the next one, on the 19th, we have a combination, the full moon in the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is the sign of service. It's a sign of servitude. It's the sign of our health and well-being. It's the sign of our vocation, our day-to-day work, our lifestyle. These are the themes of Virgo. And so there's going to be a full combination, a wrapping up of those themes that was mentioned. And it's going to come to awareness in a real heightened emotional way. So you can probably find yourself maybe, you're ending a job, or you're ending a bad habit, so you can and so you can bring in a healthier habit. So the full moon in Virgo, that's going to be quite interesting, and we're going to talk about that when the full moon, when we get closer to the 19th. Well, I'll do a whole video about that. The next day, we also have the sun enters the sign of Pisces. So now the sun meets up with the Mercury, and so we're all in this nebulous, calm, relaxed energy, kind of delusional too. And I would have to say, even when Mercury in Pisces, there could be a lot of delusions, and from a macro level, we can definitely understand with what's going on around the world. And I must also say, Mercury in Pisces really gives me that media situation. So there could be a lot of deception in the media as well, because Pisces energy can really dissolve the truth, and no one knows what's going on and stuff. And that's kind of been the theme with news on a macro level of what's going on. So we probably would see more of that and heightened illumination and awareness of this, or the creation of it, when the sun goes into Pisces as well. Now, Pisces is a very spiritual sign. It's a sweet sign, and I think it's one time for me. I love to travel around this time. Like I live in New York City, so it's the dead of winter, right before the spring happens. Fares are really cheap and stuff wherever you want to go around the world, and so when you are doing with the sun in Pisces, it's like such a good time to retreat, because it's right before, the new beginning, when Aries season begins, where pretty much this is when, spring starts and things starts to blossom. So this is the end of the winter. This is the ending of the cycle, the zodiac cycle, and so forth. And, it's a time to relax. It's a time to rest. It's a time to rejuvenate yourself. It's a time to heal. It's a time to love. It's a time to create. You might want to you might probably have cabin fever, so you're probably inside a lot, and you just want to create something that you can launch the next season. So look out for the sun in Pisces, where you'll feel this creative, nebulous, relaxed energy. But beware for the delusions that may come around, or you might want to sleep too much, or probably drink too much, because Pisces energy can kind of create that vibe. I mean, just think of St. Patrick's Day. That's around when that's around Pisces season, and we all know St. Patty's Day. You get a lot of drinking. So yeah, look out for Pisces season. It's gonna be a good time. And so let's move forward, and let's start the forecast for each sign. Scorpio, hi. So on February 4th, you have the Aquarius new moon that's going to be affecting your 4th house. So there's some new innovation that's brewing up, something random. You might suddenly have to move, maybe to a bigger home. Maybe your family gets bigger where you need to get a bigger home. Aquarius energy is very random, it's innovative, it brings you a sense of liberation, it frees you from things, it's a higher mind genius kind of energy. And within the moon sign, it's very detached and it has to do with our friendships, our community groups, humanitarian aspects, and so forth. And being affecting it being the new moon on the 4th, and this energy kind of goes on for the rest of the month. Well, up until the middle, I would say. The 4th house is like you're starting something new when it comes about the home. It's a newfound feeling about your home environment. You might find some innovative ways to connect with your tribe, or you might even get a kind of bigger home that has to be quite original. And the reason I say bigger is because this new moon has been not in conjunction, but in a opportunistic aspect to Jupiter. And Jupiter is a very abundant planet. It provides you the notion for you to grow, as it is in Sagittarius. So this connection is really bringing a newfound change that is quite positive and quite large. You may even see these new changes with your mother, as the moon rules our mothers and so forth, or maybe within your motherhood. Like I said, you might suddenly get pregnant, so look out for that. Or get someone pregnant. Now, on February 4th, the same day, we have Venus entering Capricorn. Venus is very feminine, what kind of feminine energy she is, and she definitely rules our relationships, what we value, self-worth, and it also rules finances. And in the sign of Capricorn, you cannot think anything but finances by stabilizing your finances. And this is activating your third your third house, which has to do with the conversations you're having to attract what is it that you want for the long run, and that has lasting value that this Venus and Capricorn energy alludes. So there's going to be quite valuable conversations you'll be having throughout this transit, which is lasting up to about a month. This is also a good time to use the law of attraction to speak what is it that you want. So you have to understand that the Venus sign is also ruled by the law of attraction. So what is it that you value is pretty much what you have around you. And because this is the third house, you can literally create a mantra or speak your worth and find it coming to you in a real substantial way. So be sure to say what you'd like. And Venus and Capricorn also has to do with finances, like I mentioned before. And your finances, you might probably be having a lot of conversations about how to grow your finances, probably speaking to your financial advisor. This would be a good time to speak to them, where they can really help you bring a lot of sustainable income into your sphere. Next energy, we have Mercury going to Pisces, and that's the 10th of February, and this is activating your 5th house. Now, Mercury, a lot of people who are introduced to astrology knows about Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is moving direct like many other planets, so right now is such a good time to initiate and start things, especially under the new moon. But back to Mercury entering Pisces. This is your 5th house. So the Mercury rules our mindset, so the way we communicate, right? And Pisces is really a nebulous, a vast, a very, I wouldn't say emotional, but spiritual and quite sensitive sign that just feels everything. And so Mercury entering Pisces in your 5th house of love, romance, and children, you might be speaking from a place of the heart right now, Scorpio. One that probably your speech might definitely have a tone of saying how you unconditionally love yourself or another person. You might be communicating creatively. You might find yourself communicating quite creatively, abstractly, maybe discussing having children or any discussion about children. And you may be discussing some of your dreams. that you have, and I would advise to continue maybe discussing these dreams that you have so that they become reality, because what you speak and what you do is everything that you'll see in your reality. Always remember that. Next one, we have Mars entering Taurus. And so this is your 7th house. So Mars is our energy, our vitality, our passion, and it's entering Taurus, which is your opposite sign on the zodiac wheel, and this is the 7th house. So there might be a drive for you to initiate valuable partnerships. And the 7th house not only rules our relationships, our personal relationships, but also rules our partners. So it might a partnership, so a business partnership. So you might be really going after your partner in a way that you want to initiate something valuable. You want to make it grounded, as this is Mars in Taurus. And you might be also attracting the notion of starting a new relationship as well. So enjoy this transit, as it will last for about a month from February 14th. That same day, we have a really new cycle that's brewing and starting, which is it's just about an 8-year cycle, and that's Chiron entering Aries. Now, a lot of people have some astrology don't really look at Chiron as a planet, but I think it's really vital in recognizing this energetic vibration. Now, Chiron has to do with our wounds that we have once we came and had our soul contract. This is a wound where we said, okay, I'll take it. And that same wound is how you will heal yourself. Or better yet, heal others in humanities. Because you can't really quite heal yourself. You'll kind of always be not at your best with this wound, right? It's like having a gaping wound on the side of your face. Like, you're not going to move the same way as someone whose face is perfectly fine. But I digress. Chiron in Aries is activating your 6th house. So it looks like that for this transit for the next 8 years. You're probably you will definitely probably have some pain or truly feeling the wounds that has to do with how you are working, how are you creating your daily habits, like your daily habits. Where do they derive from? Are they ones that are healthy? Are they ones that are good? This transit might also make you prone to being a little sick. Because Chiron into Aries is one that is very in your 6th house, has to it pretty much identifies the wounds you have with your health, lifestyle, and vocation, your day-to-day habits, and so forth. And so there's going to be some really strong themes in those areas of your life. And I'm telling you about this because I want to bring awareness, even though this transit lasts for 8 years, in knowing some of where you're feeling, why I'm always feeling like this, and especially within work and within your workspace. It's because that this is something you need to heal and let go of, and this is going to be quite transformative. So the earlier you figure this out, the earlier you will come out in the healing end of this transit. Next, you have on the 20th, you have the Sun entering Pisces. And so the Sun entering Pisces for you, Scorpio, is activating your 5th house. So now the Sun is connecting with Mercury, all the things that you've been discussing, the love of heart. Now, like I said, it's coming into a great illumination. When the Sun enters Pisces, your 5th house will be really lit, and that will be with the urge or the willpower to commit. It also will allow you to create love. You probably definitely would like to have children, and definitely I advise just consider focusing on unconditional love with the ones you love, the ones around you. And this is going to be a great transit throughout this whole month. So if you'd like a really close reading about what's going on with your personal transits, feel free to contact me at StayLitLove.com. And if you're looking to even see what's going on with your significant other, that would be pretty cool, considering that this month we're celebrating Valentine's Day. And with Valentine's Day, you want to check out your synastry with your significant other and see, do we have a chance? And more. And so if you are interested, just visit the website, StayLitLove.com. Under the reading tab, you can find all other things, peruse through the site. And I'd like to say, what did you think about this video? This is the first of many, and I'm pretty excited to join you and you guys joining me on this journey as we talk about what's going on as above, so below, and the situation that is occurring within your life. So once again, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. Well, if I didn't say that before, thank you. And also thank you for sharing, thank you for liking, thank you for commenting if you haven't, or I'm saying this in advance. And of course, thank you for watching. And until next time, stay lit, loves.